A pleasant good morning to everyone. We are in the business end of this All Kerala tournament. We got two semi-finals today and the final. It's not like yesterday where it was pelting down all over the place. It's a rather clear day today with a bit of a cloud cover. A rather cool day. So we can expect the Mother Nature to stay calm today for the game. And it is the Trivandrum versus Wayanad, the first game of the day, the first semi-final. The winner of this will reserve a slot in the final and the loser will go home. So it's a do-or-die game for both of the side. And an electrifying game on a chill morning here at Tripunithura. Both the side getting ready. Trivandrum won the toss and they elected to field. So the Wayanad batsmen are making their way. Will have to make their way into the middle. And I hope it will be a riveting contest between these two terrific sides. Wayanad, which is known as a game changer, usually a side of youth and exuberant. The Trivandrum side, and the other side are more balanced and experienced in nature. Sachin is the bowler for Trivandrum. So Sachin to start proceeding for the Trivandrum side. B2 bowler. Prasad and the skipper himself have come out for the Wayanad. The first ball. Loud appeal and a noisy start to begin with. Taken a single. Wayanad would be watchful. It's a new territory for them, semi-finals. We had a brilliant bowl-out session yesterday where winners were decided through a bowl-out, where Wayanad just edged the Kottayam Tigers with one hit onto the stumps. The skipper himself did the job yesterday, so he have to deliver with a splendid knock today for his side. It's a dot ball. So it is so the skipper is on strike right now. He is of the B3 category. The first extra on the board. In the form of wide. This is actually an interesting contest to watch for. Wayanad, who is actually new to such territory. So they will be having the pressure. Ashif nudges around, takes a single. I've seen Prasad bat a little in a few occasions. He is a touch player, not the one who will tonk the ball. Ran for a single. Just a slow, steady start here for the Wayanad side. That's a dot ball. So the batsman trying to get a grip of the surface, leaving 1 and 2 here and there, and running for singles. Tucks around for a single. So after the first over, it's 5 without a loss. Pretty good start for the Trivandrum side. Both the openers trying to get settled so they could launch. So here comes the fast bowler, Manoj B3. He used to be an absolute pace bowler, real pace. I got hit a few times before when I played in this surface in 2013-14, those days. That's a dot ball. He produces raw pace, genuine pace, but I have declined when he got a little bit older. We cannot call him old, but he is not producing that much of a pace these days, but still a potent armory, potent weapon to have in your armory. This is another dot. Pretty good start. Couple of dots, building the pressure on the batsmen, forcing them to do something out of the ordinary. It can happen when both the batsmen struggle to get going. Another dot. As I said, pretty watchful these two. Let's got a touch to it. Didn't run any. 4 consecutive dots in a row. Have to find a way to break the shackle and score for this side because they cannot leave it for the later part of the game. The fielder collects it. And a run on the 5th ball. And well, earlier stages of the game, so it could be a bit slow. They don't want to lose wicket in a cluster, so that's understandable. He plays it a little bit fine, but still nothing from it. So that was a brilliant over from Manoj. Just 1 from it, 6 without a loss. So Sachin will continue his spell from the other end. 5 from his first. He will be looking for a wicket here because the batsmen are trying to assess the condition and Loud appeal. But the umpire says, I'm having none of it. That to a dot ball, but it's important to kind of keep the momentum going. You cannot take too much delivery for granted, because it could get a bit hectic when you just try to tee off in the 5th and 6th over. Another dot. The pressure building like a Mount Everest. You have to find a way out, because you don't want the opposition to chase down 65 and the 70 odd runs. That's been hit fine for a single. Another dot. Another beautiful over. This is from Sachin. 1 run. So after 3, it's 7 without loss. So Sachin and Manoj bowling in tandem. So there is a bowling change. Manoj was just used for an over. I think that was a move to take a wicket, but they didn't succeed. Saji comes into the attack, a B2. A single taken. We can understand why though, because they don't want to lose wicket. And that is the first of the many boundaries to follow. That is Prasad. He says, I had enough of this. Time to break free of the shackles and take single. Sorry, 4 out of it. Thank you very much, he said. He had me quiet a little. And he takes a single and gets himself off strike. So the skipper himself will have to get a move on from here. He is capable of it. He just gives it back to Prasad, who just hit a boundary, the first one of the innings. So the bowling change, leaking a bit of runs here. The batsmen did get them settled. So single. They've been struck well, but that will be cut off by the fielder first. And oh, single taken. At least they're not conceding dot balls. That's a good sign. They're trying to run for everything. It's important to convert your scores to singles and twos whenever possible, trying to put some pressure onto the fielding side. Usually top class players do that. You run for everything. You make the fielding side concede errors. After 4, it's 16 without loss. And Manoj changes end. He comes from the opposite side. No, that's pinballed brilliantly by Manoj. So just one boundary from 4.1 overs. This is a tidy, good start from the Trivandrum side. That's the first extra conceded by Manoj. This is getting interesting. The batsman trying to get a move on, and the bowlers the fielding sides are getting into the nerves of the batsman. Noisy around, not giving away anything. Appealing for everything out there. Committing the batsman to force something out of his comfort zone. That's another dot from Manoj. This is brilliant bowling. This is his second. That's a loud appeal. This is actually a good contest to watch for in the game of cricket. The contest between bat and ball. One of them will always try to get a hold of the other. So this is being brilliant from Manoj. His first over gone for just single.
70.
And the second over 2. He only conceded 1 so far. That's a good ball. Lovely.
5 over 70.
That too was an extra. Those are 17 that he conceded, the single that he conceded. This was a brilliant over. After 5, it's 17 without loss. So omitting that wide, it was the maiden. Except for the wide, that is. So that was brilliant bowling. You won't see a bowler going for just 2 runs on a T20 game. And we have the first sign of a B1 bowler. It's Muthappan. So the first of the B1 quota. It's compulsory for the B1 bowlers to bowl as reserved amount of overs. It could only be done by them. So here we get the first. Muthappan to deliver the 6th. Normally a pretty good handy bowler to have, Muthappan. He does provide the breakthrough, but can he do it now? He's been struck beautifully, but the fielder just cut it off. Ran for a single. They've been busy in between the wicket. The runs are not coming well, so they are running for everything out there. Whatever opportunity that's been thrown up at them, have to make full use of it. Now an appeal, but that's just a wide. Usually these are the time when the batsman will really try to get on top of the bowling. Generally B1 bowlers, the opposition will try to fancy a chance. Another wide. Muthappan just losing concentration in the middle. Happens sometimes. Semi-final, big occasion. The pressure could get the best out of you. Just nudges it for a single. They will come back for a second, will they? Yes. Beautiful running that was. The fielder took a little bit of time in collecting that and giving it back, allowing the batsman for a brace. Oh, but I don't think that will clear the field. No, it didn't. The fielder takes it. Was so quick in giving it back. This is brilliant fielding by the Trivandrum fielders. Just for a single. Out appeal. Umpire just stayed unmoved. That's dot ball. That's been struck quite fine, but the fielding was being exceptional today. They didn't let go anything whatsoever. And it's being transpired through all the fielders in the middle. That can happen if one of your players is playing beautifully. It can rub off onto the others as well, and you're seeing just that. Single taken. 24.
25.
So after the 6 is 25 without a wicket. So that was the expensive over that we had so far. 8 coming of it, but 25 from 6. That is still not up to the mark. So it's both B1 bowlers in tandem. Shah Jahan from the other side. So we had 25 from 6. Shah Jahan. Normally a pretty good bowler and a batsman. I did play a few times against him. So he will be on target from the beginning. Dot ball to start proceeding for Shah Jahan. They have to make use of these overs. These are the time when generally teams will try to up the ante a little bit. 7 overs, they cannot give an excuse now. They're well settled. Both the batsmen consumed deliveries enough to understand what the surface is like. So they have to, it's almost like it's 15 players fielding in the middle. Everywhere they hit, the fielder gets into it. That so quick, gets onto it so quick. Just one boundary so far in this inning shows you how great the Trivandrum side pulled things tight, and not allowing the Wayanad side to even breathe a little. Who were qualified yesterday on a nail-biting bowl out. That was brilliant. Was a wide from Shah Jahan. I wasn't there at the venue, but people said that was brilliant. A top class side like Kottayam, who scored 138 from 9. That would have been a great contest. So bad that I was enjoying the rain in the other venue. It was raining cats and dogs. It was sheer entertainment, though we had fun. Was sitting around in the dugout and playing with people around. We even had a bit of a singing session yesterday when the rain was going on like crazy. But on the other side here, it was raining sixes and fours. Too bad that I missed it. Another wide. It would have been pretty bad for the Kottayam side to lose that. I was expecting them to be in the semis because as a cricketing fan, I like them. An exceptional side. They got match winners. And they got pretty much good B1 players like Tommy, who I always fancy getting a wicket or two. And I'm a B1 player myself, so I would fancy that type of chance happening. Situations. You can't help a B1 bowler being supportive of a B1 bowler, can you? Back to the contest.
All right.
Orle. So, even failing to capitalize on these middle overs, the Wayanad batsman. Another wide. The B1 bowlers conceding a little bit, but I won't say that that's too much. But still, they are being expensive. You try yourself to squeeze it tight for the opposition. That struck well, but will be cut off. And it's a pleasant morning here at Tripunithura. It's cloudy sky, so the players will enjoy this condition. Okay.
8 over 33.
So after 7, it's 33 without a wicket being lost. So they are trying to bowl out the B1 bowlers, and the batsmen still failing to read. If things goes like this, we will get a pretty low target, which is not recommended against a batting packed Trivandrum side. So that's been hit well, was it?
Anga. Hello. Edla. Oh, okay.
The ball was travelling a lot, but it was just a single. We all got confused. That was a loud appeal. That's a wide. So compared to the B2 and the B3s, the B1 conceding a little too much extras in my liking. So that's continuous back. Wides consist. Tenley, 2 wides, that's back to back. Has been stuck pretty well, but not enough to clear the field. Single taken. So this is not usually what you expect in a T20. You expect them to score everywhere. Usually when they are settled, but not in the case of Prasad and Ashif. Him being the skipper himself, that he will be thinking. Another wide from Muttappan. This more like, if you cannot take runs, well, I will help you with a few freebies. Single taken. Trivandrum will be happy with singles. They will be really happy with singles. Just not getting a breather. Trying to hit it somewhere, but as I said before, it's almost like 20-25 players being in the outfield and not getting anywhere. Another single. They're being kept busy in the between the wickets. But when the runs dry out, you try to force yourself and get out of your comfort zone. But it's just singles here and there, which will not hurt Trivandrum even a little. As long as they don't concede boundaries, and they're doing the smart stuff here. They're trying to bowl out the B1 bowlers. Another B1. He continues. Shah Jahan. It's actually pretty good though. So after eight, it's 41 without a loss. This is the fourth B1 over, and at 2 back to back. So the Trivandrum side being calculative. They want to bowl out the B1 bowlers before the batsmen try to up the ante, and it's succeeding. It is succeeding real good for the Trivandrum side. So this is nice stuff. We like this, don't we? You try and play a little bit of a cat and mouse game. You try to force your B1 quarter of overs when the batsmen are struggling, and you keep your best bowlers for the business end, for the job for them to do the cleaning up job. Death bowling always wins you games, don't they? We have seen throughout games, we have seen in the IPL, we have seen in international games, death bowling wins you game, and this is why. You will be struggling, and at the end of the innings you will be trying to get yourself into a better position. So you want your best bowlers to do that job at the end of the innings, to ensure that they don't go away with too much runs in their kitty. So that's a single. Runs are just coming in singles here, and it's the semi-final, first of the 2 that we have. It's between a young and youthful side against an experienced Trivandrum. That's wide from Shah Jahan. Prasad, or the skipper himself, will have to find a way to get themselves onto a better score. Otherwise it will be just a cakewalk. You know the star power that they have. Another wide. And here the bowlers are helping themselves. Helping the opposition. They're not helping their cause. But the B2 and the B3 have bowled brilliantly. All right. So, just 47 so far. The good thing is though, they haven't lost a wicket. will be cut off by the fielder. That's just a BS single. I wonder how many times I have said single in this broadcast. I think many. Probably like 41 times.
One more. ഒന്നും കൂടി. അതെ.
So that much singles that we had. We had like one couple, one boundary, and all singles, and a handful of extras. That's what we had so far in this innings. If you look through the innings, in short, as a dot. All right.
14.
So after 9, it's 48 without a wicket. So that's 4 B1 overs being bowled. And the batsman, the story being the same. Just 48 from 9 overs. They have to get a move on here. Got wickets. They got wickets in their hand. They got everything. What they need is a move on. And we have
Such.
And we have our scorer sitting next to me, talking through the wireless communication. Sachu is our scorer. He's being active.
Arun.
And Pratish and Arun are the 2 umpires officiating this game. They are being excellent so far. Pressure will be put on them by the fielding side because no wickets being lost. So Pratish and Arun will be faced with some LBW's appeals and stuff. They will be on the spotlight. So one more B1 bowling. So this is great. I like this move from the Trivandrum side. And it's so sad to see that the batting side is still not even trying to get a move on. They got 10 wickets in their bag. No excuse to give whatsoever. It's high time they get a few boundaries. You cannot leave it for the business of end of this innings because the bowling side will be thinking of the end overs as well. So things are being done in singles here. Not so much of a worry for the Trivandrum side. The Trivandrum dugout just will be calm. Will be having a cup of coffee. Well, one more single. And that's the team 50 for the
Wayanad Warriors.
So that's a team 50 for the Wayanad Warriors. And that is team 50 for the Wayanad Warriors. So 50 coming in the 10th over. Pretty much a different type of T20 innings that you would see. And even The B1 bowlers are on song today, not giving anything. Muttappan and Shah Jahan complementing each other. The fielding has been exceptional. Well, it could be just the fact that things have gone well for the Trivandrum side.
Standard.
So the star 11 being the stars. And the Warriors just forgetting their martial moves when they saw the stars glittering. Well, the atmosphere is kind of cloudy, but it doesn't matter for the glittering star in the ground. Shining as always. Everything going fine for them. Just the opposite for the batting side. One more to the total. As I said before, this will not worry the star 11. They will be happy if they take singles. They will have to cut down the 4s and the 6s. Even we didn't have any 2s. Just 1 2 so far. All the others were singles. And barring the extras, we only had
Score. 10 overs 56.
it's 56 for no loss after 10. High time. Prasad and the skipper gets a move on. This so 6th B1 bowling in succession, and the job being done by these two from both ends, tightening the screws, pegging them even further into darkness. Shah Jahan and Muttappan have done an excellent job in keeping them muffled, not allowing any free opportunity for the batsmen to come on top of the innings. And they have bowled consistently too, barring the few extras. They are being excellent and on song. Shah Jahan
11th running.
11th over this is, and we have not yet reached the 60s, and one of the many dot balls just we had so far. Great bowling this is from the Trivandrum star 11. If you bar these extras, the scoreboard would look even more tidier than this. Still having no power to beat the fielders. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. He just didn't get a hold of it. But the fielder sure did get a hold of it. Did get a hold of it. Well, that was being the story so far in this innings. And the bowlers having a field day. Well, rather the batsman, I should say. That's a wide. The bowlers really having a splendid day. They cannot imagine anything better than this. Even though they didn't get a wicket, they're not leaking runs, which is a good sign. I mean, if you can keep them quiet like this, you won't mind wickets. The skipper is actually out in the middle, so he can take the measures to get a hold of the situation, and Prasad could give company. One of the batsmen should have to go for it. 10 wickets. One of the batsmen will have to take the risk.
Wayanad 63.
After 11, it's 63 with both the openers on the crease. In the crease, rather. And it's the pace attack again. We had a series of B1 bowling. Manoj is in for his third. Exceptionally bowled. Just 2 from his 2. We are live on YouTube now. Search for our channel on YouTube. Search for the Kerala Cricket Association's Cricket Association for the Blind's YouTube channel and follow us. You can catch us live. I hope many of them will be listening to this and watching the action unfold. Well, not that much of a pleasing vision right now from the batting side, just singles and twos. So for those who are watching the live update, this is the first of the 2 semi-finals, and the winner of this will ensure a place in the final. They will play the second semi-finalist winner. We will have the final in the afternoon. Just runs are coming in singles. Manoj, you will be saying, well, I'll take this. If you are to get an offer like this, well, just 2 runs from 2 overs, you'll take that in every day. Any day of the week, you'll take it. What a position for a bowler. What a position for the bowler. None of them have registered a wicket, but this is more than they could ask for. And that could be the first wicket.
67. Run out.
So as I said before, the fielding being excellent. So Ashif, the skipper, found short of the crease. Yeah, the stars are being the stars, living up to their names. And the skipper will have to make the long walk. Didn't make a good contribution. Couldn't get a start. So that's the first wicket being lost here.
Okay.
And you will not, and you cannot take the chance against Manish, who is just exceptional in the field. He will just throw you out in just a sec.
Okay.
He is that kind of a fielder. Have the reputation of having the good throwing arms. Usually you will see him covering the entire side. Manish also good with the bat. I call him the strike rate 250. Well, whenever we have the fun chit chat, I usually tease him by saying you almost brutally murder the bowler. You should actually have a consideration for the bowler. You just won't go and hit them all over the park. That's exactly what Manish does. He's a cool, calm character outside the field, just like he is in the field. Just a funny person to be around with. Manish inflicted a run out. But there are a few players who will be just electrifying, who will be just electrifying in the field and out the field. Just whenever they see you, they'll just come and be like, hey, Manish is one of them. No. Nothing to talk about the game so far, other than the brilliant run out. The batsmen finding it hard, the bowlers having their day. That's being the story from the beginning. So that's a no ball. First of such kind.
Answer.
Ansar, who is a handy B1 batsman. He is the replacement who replaces just because of that run out. Ansar will have to play a good innings here. If he hit a 4, it will get doubled. So just for the information, for all the viewers, if a B1 player hit a single, it will be doubled. So even if he hits a 4, that will be 8. So if you have a handy, useful Dre Russ-like B1 player, you could bank on him. He will provide a plenty. That's a loud appeal. Imagine a B1 batsman like Andre Russ. Go boy, you just think of that. I just can't imagine a batsman scoring 100 in just 15 balls. But a B1 batsman can do that. Alright. After 13, it's 71 without a loss. Sorry, 71 for 1. Beg your pardon. And just the wicket to go, the skipper found short of the crease and he made the long walk. Continued on. And it's that man, Manish, to bowl. He's just a complete package though. You talk about playing Dream 11, fantasy games all over the world, and this guy is a must-have. A complete package. He can bat, he can field, he can deliver the goods for you. I had a chat with him yesterday and he was like, I usually trap B1 bowlers with slow ball deliveries. Well, I actually fell for it once. So that's Manish for you. Yeah, such a understanding player. Read the game so well. And Ansar. Yeah, that's the benefit of being a B1 player. He scored a couple. That's being counted as 4. So B1 taking a couple is equivalent to a B2 and B3 taking 4. So useful as oxygen. He will have to provide the oxygen into the warriors if they have to get the energy into their bloodstream so they could fight out in the middle. That's a dot ball. Ansar. Actually, I've seen Ansar play a beautiful innings back in the days here. He hit a couple of boundaries when Malappuram played. I think that was the Super Kings where we got a super over. Happened to be on the commentary box. That was an electrifying game. Another wide. Well, as a bowler, you don't want to give extras, do you? You do all the basics right and you just give away one extra. And at the end of the day, that one run could be the decider. And you will be just blaming yourself for the loss if that happens. So you want to make sure that you give less and less extras possible. Because if the game comes down to the wire, even a single will be crucial. There was a run-out chance which they failed to capitalize. Because there will always be a case of yes and no's when there's a new runner in the crease, 76. So after 14, it's 76 for 1. The Wayanad Warriors. So Sajiti continues his second. So this is a surprising stuff from Prasad. That is just the second boundary that we had so far. And what a time for that boundary to come. Just what the doctor ordered. It's time that they put some balls over the ropes. But it's very hard to hit sixes. But they will have to get 4s like this again and again. 6s would be welcome, but 4s will do the job too. Way better than singles anyways. Just the second boundary and both by Prasad. He's so the second semi-finals will be the Thrissur and oh, that's a brilliant striking from Ansar, the B1 player. And they ran 4 for it. What a brilliant running. And they get 8. These are valuable runs provided by the B1 player. As I said before, if you have a handy B1 player, you can bank your money on him. He could deliver the goods whenever needed. And just a 4, it will be counted as 8. What a difference that could make. Very rarely you would see 4 being run into the 90s. Coming back to the fixtures, we have the second semi-finals between Thrissur and Kasaragod, who were qualified yesterday through a bowl out because of the heavy rains that we had. That will be an interesting, mouth-watering contest. So the game is not yet done. The actions to follow are pretty much interesting, just like what we have now. Well, you cannot really call this interesting, but the B1 playing brilliantly is something.
90.
15. So after the 15, it's 90 for 1. So in their 15 overs, they could only get 90. That means that when the star 11 comes out to bat, they will have to get a 91. Considering the batting lineup that they have and the scores that we had in the last game, it would be just a cakewalk, and I think so. Unless if the Warriors pulls out something extraordinary. 15 overs, 91, and against players like Manish, you would say it's Trivandrum's game. It's interesting, they have 9 more wickets. They had 9 wickets in hand, and yet they failed to capitalize. And to those who missed the live updates on YouTube, you can always catch us on YouTube. Search for our channel, Kerala Cricket Association for the Blind, Kerala. Cricket Association for the Blind, Kerala. Catch us there live. Second innings.
ലൈവ് കട്ട് ചെയ്തില്ലേ ചേച്ചിക്ക് ഇത് മൈക്കുണ്ട് എൻ്റെ ഇതിൽ മൈക്കുണ്ട് മൈക്കുണ്ട് അതിൽ മൈക്ക് കണക്ട് ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് പിൻ ചെയ്ത് വെച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട് സ്ട്രീം കട്ട് ചെയ്തില്ലേ സ്ട്രീം കട്ട് ചെയ്തില്ല
So I had one of my companion here, Kamal, who is also my companion, who is helping me with updates. He's just sitting right next to me. Kamal.
അതിനകത്ത് എന്തെങ്കിലും വേറെ എന്തെങ്കിലും വരുന്നുണ്ടോ? ബാക്കിൽ വരുന്ന ഓഡിയോസ് ഇങ്ങനെ ചോദിക്കുന്നു ഞാൻ. ഹലോ, ഷെയർ ചെയ്യാം. എവിടുന്നാ? ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ ഓക്കെ. കൂട്ടുകാരത്തിൻ്റെ ഹ്യൂസ് ഓഫ് ലൈഫ് അവർ കോർപ്പറേറ്റ് ഓഫീസുള്ള ബിൽഡിംഗ് അല്ലേ? അല്ല, നമ്മുടെ മാവേലിപുരം ഓണം പാർക്കിൻ്റെ അടുത്ത്. ആ മുസ്ലിം പള്ളി കഴിഞ്ഞ് കുറച്ച് മുമ്പോട്ട് പോകുമ്പോൾ റൈറ്റില് ഓണ പാർക്കില്ലേ അതിനോട് തൊട്ട് സൈഡിലൊരു വഴിയുണ്ട് അവിടെ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ റൈറ്റ് സൈഡിൽ കാണാം അതിൽ ഗുഡ് വ്യൂസ് ഓഫ് ലൈഫ് അതിൽ ഗുഡ് എർത്തിൻ്റെ ഓഫീസ് അതിൻ്റെ അകത്താണ് അതന്നെ സെപ്പറേറ്റ് ബിൽഡിംഗ് ആയിട്ട് ശരി അല്ല ലൈവ് ആക്കിക്കോ കറണ്ട് പോയി ഓൺ ആക്കിയാൽ മതി ഇന്നലെ ആളുണ്ടാവോ
So we're in the second innings of this first semi-final of the 7th edition of the All Kerala Blind Cricket Tournament. In partnership with Federal Bank. So it's Trivandrum Star 11 batting, requiring a 91 to get in their 15 overs. So it's Manish and Manoj, two destructive openers for the Trivandrum Star 11, out in the middle. And the Wayanad Warriors will be feeling the pressure right from the beginning. Had a few boundaries already. Considering the condition of the ground, 90 is below par total. You need more than that when you are playing in a ground like this. A surface which is more beneficial for batting. You need to be on top of the game. Loud appeal, but the umpires having none of it. So it is a test for the Wayanad Warriors bowlers. A low total to defend. They don't have the extra cushion of having the extra run on the board. It is just unbelievable that
4 4
4.
So that's one more boundary in the very first over. What a start this is. Was a slow, quiet start for the Wayanad Warriors, but it's just a different one for the Trivandrum. Well, with the caliber of Manish and Manoj, you're not going to miss out on this. They are not going to miss out on this, even if you do. They will punish you for every bad deliveries. So after the first over, it's 21 for no loss. They got a bulk of the scoring, even in the first over.
ബോളറിൻ്റെ പേരെന്താ ബോളറിൻ്റെ പേര്
Bowler Okay.
Anub, I guess.
Amos.
So finally I get the name right. Amos B2 is a bowler. So the winner of this tournament will bring home 20,000 rupees, and the prizes are sponsored by Federal Bank. So that is what the winners will get in the 7th edition of the All Kerala Blind Cricket Tournament. And this game is going quicker than we expect it would be. The Warriors are showing no sign of resistance. It's just being all easy for the Trivandrum Star 11 from the beginning. And another boundary. They are dealing with boundaries here. It is just being so easy for these two out in the middle. And Manish in particular, who is known as a demolisher of all the bowling attack, are doing the same here. Yeah, he always see the ball like a basketball. It's all easy for him. One more huge striking. At least this time will be cut off. Well, compare the two fielding efforts. The Trivandrum sides were exceptionally brilliant. On the other side, the Warriors are struggling. It's almost like these two are batting on a different surface. Runs are coming thick and fast.
Second over. 36. Alright.
That's been hit well as well. You see powerful shots when these two are batting. Not like the Warrior openers who are just caressing the ball. These are murdering the ball. They are showing no mercy. You don't want to be the cricket ball when Manish and Manoj are batting. It's brutal force. There's another appeal. But the umpire says, not enough to convince me. Arun and Pratish are two umpires officiating this game. And our scorer for today's game, Sachu, who is sitting just right next to me. Busy noting down the scores. Manish and Manoj are in the middle. Two destructive player. One have already made his name in the Indian side. Manish, former Indian player. One of the fearless cricketer. He just score runs like picking up a flower. And when he comes out from the field, when you ask him like, you just scored at a strike rate of 290. And he will be just like, well, I just did. I don't know how. He is that much of a simple character. Is Manish. He will be just smiling at you. So it's
സുജിത്ത് അല്ലേ
ആരാ?
Sujit is the bowler.
രണ്ടോവർ 40. ആ. ഇവിടെ വീട്ടിലില്ല. ആ.
We got one more semi-final to come. And we are also thankful to Curriculum, a WhatsApp group, for being the sponsors of this tournament. They have provided food and necessary services and was there for us all the time. They didn't miss a beat. Always with the Cricket Association for the Blind in Kerala in ensuring the better progress of this tournament.
രണ്ടോവർ 40 റൺ.
So those who are watching this stream live, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and be a part of us. More the fans, more the motivation for us. Every subscribers, every followers, every viewers count to make this a grateful event. Without you, we would be nothing. So be with us in the future too by hitting the subscribe button. And we are back live on the game. These two, it will be hard to get them out. Prolific run scorers. These two are thinking that they are not going to take a risk, just 91 to get. Hitting a few here and there, scoring the odd boundaries. They could get home.
മൂന്നാമത്തെ ഓവർ.
Just half of the runs being already being scored.
മനീഷ് അല്ലേ
മനീഷ് സിംഗ്.
Just single by Manish. Manoj is the one who will usually play the anchor role here because Manish, from the word go, he will just bludgeon the attack, the bowling attack. Manoj will just take singles and twos, will get Manish on strike and ensure that he will carry his bat through the innings. Well, Manish himself is usually an attacking character. As I said before, a complete package to have. I would really, really love to see a fantasy cricket in blind cricket, by the way. It would be interesting. We actually laid out a bit of a pricing and stuff yesterday. You know, these fantasy games all over the world, you would have great players like Ajesh, Munas, Jinish, and these players like Manish and Manoj. A pool of good players to choose from. Yeah, fantasy cricket in this form of the game will be interesting. After the third, it's 53 without loss. So Manish and Manoj going gun to gun. And the bowlers are not helping their cause either. No wicket so far. They have to get a couple of breakthrough to get into this game. It's so we have the first sign of the B1 bowler. To those who are watching and not understanding these terms, B1 means fully blind. He will have an eye fold. B1 is fully blind, and B2 is partially blind, and B3 is partially sighted. So the B1 bowlers, in a 15-over game, there should be a 6-over mandatory B1 bowling. This is getting interesting. No wicket so far, and Manish and Manoj are seeing the ball like baseballs. They are dictating the pace of the game. They're commanding the bowlers where to bowl so that we could hit. Such impact that they have on the minds of the opposition. They dictate the pace, not the opposition. That's what makes them the great players. Dictate the pace. They define the game. And we also have Vrindavan Restaurant, one of the sponsors of the 7th edition of the Blind Cricket Tournament. And they ensured their support for the tournament as well. Ensure their cooperation with the Cricket Association for the Blind in Kerala. Another boundary. Boundaries are coming thick and fast for the Star 11, while the Warriors just had 2 boundaries, if I can remember quite right. 3 boundaries, I guess. Well, one of them was a B1 player running a 4. This game could be over before you know it. If things like this happens, they will have to make sure that they get at least a couple of wickets here. Otherwise, it's not going to be easy. A loud appeal, but nothing out of it. So Nitin continues, and nothing going on in their way. This has been the story from the beginning of this game for the Wayanad Warriors, who was qualified yesterday with a brilliant bowl out with the Kottayam Tigers. That was the first game that we had in this ground. Kottayam Tigers scoring 138 in 9 overs. That was a brilliant game. Too bad that I missed it. and the rain came down. The heavens have opened up. The game had to be decided through a bowl out, which the Wayanad edged the Kottayam Tigers with 1-0. On the other side, the Trivandrum Star 11 defeated the academy team on a 5-over shooter. They scored 83, I guess. More than 80 odd runs yesterday. Was a flourish of 4s and 6s for Manish. Was a flurry of 4s and 6s, was indeed. 80 odd runs in 5 overs. Geez, you don't want to be the bowler. No surprise that I'm not playing these days. You should be fearful of the batsmen. They'll find each and every opportunity to score runs. It's hard to keep them muffled. It's better to commentate than be in the middle. Being in the middle. But at least you're not going to score 6 sixes against a commentator, is it? So you always have the luxury of not going for plenty. So that's no surprise that I'm being a commentator than being a bowler in a team. Well, back to the game. That's being hit well. Well, I think that will be cut off. They did. We'll scamper for a second. This is brilliant running as well. Well, everything was right from the beginning for the Trivandrum Star 11. I don't have to repeat it again. Just I'm doing this because that's what the story is. So just in case if people are wondering, because I've been notified that people were asking on the live stream who are the commentator. Well, the one who is not bowling these days and commentating so much in these games is Shivraj, myself. As a cricketer, I play for the Rainbow Stars Kasaragod. So this game is rather being one-sided. I expected some kind of resistance from the Wayanad Warriors though, but it's nowhere near to being that way. It's like they are being stunned by Manish's glittering performance. Usually people don't find a way to get his wicket. Nothing more than a word of a guy who was being in the receiving end of Manish's bludgeoning attack. But actually did get his wicket once. But you always like to cherish memories, don't you? The days you played. I'm just a 23-year-old, not just a retired cricketer. I still play for the Rainbow Stars Kasaragod. I mean, whenever I say that I used to play and stuff, people will be thinking that usually commentators are retired cricketers, aren't they? They retire yourself, get you into the com box in the 50s and 40s. Aged, middle-aged people. But that's what the commentators, you really don't see youth 23-year-olds commentating. Well, I like this. Anyways, love being a commentator, love being a player. But that's just me. Back to the game. And it's B1 bowler continuing. Whenever the B1 bowler bowls, the wicket keeper will give him the direction so that he would bowl right onto the stumps, which is not happening right now. They have to get a wicket. They really have to get a wicket. They got top class bowlers, but can they deliver under pressure is the question. Pressure can do a lot of stuff. We have seen that in mainstream cricket, IPL, games, teams like Royal Challengers. You have seen the bowlers going for plenty, and people like Trey Russ batting. Pressure can get the best out of you. That's a beautiful shot. Just when we are talking about Andre Russ, that was a powerful striking. Getting onto the boundary rope with ease. And they're inching closer. 72 now, just 19 required. And it is just being all easy. And it's a good, pleasant climate here today. We can all hope that it just stays like this. Yesterday it was so bad. Other than the few funds that we have, we didn't get any game other than the Trivandrum versus. And they are in a hurry to finish the game off, as we see one more boundary being scored.
76, 5 overs.
After 5 overs, it's 76 without a loss. Manish and Manoj are playing it like they want to catch a movie or something before it begins. They are in a hurry to finish it off. Maybe they're too much concerned about their bowling or something. The Warriors, it's taking a little longer for them to decide and do something like to give ball to who could be the right option. But it wasn't the case for them, for the Stars. They knew who to bowl and when to bowl. And it clicked so perfect for the side, which got the Warriors restricted onto a 90 and just 15 runs to get. It's all becoming just a formality. And with no wickets being fallen, it is being a cakewalk for Manish and company. B1 continues. One taken. Very rare you see singles when these batsmen are batting. It's not that they won't run for singles, but they don't usually have to. They do those in boundaries.
എന്താ
And at the end of the innings, almost at the end of the inning, they have something to cheer for as they get a breakthrough.
എന്താ എൽബിയാ
And, this being provided by the B1 bowler.
അരെ ബോൾ
Ajmal.
Trapping the batsman LBW. Ajmal that bowled brilliantly. You can just admire when a B1 bowler lead by example. And the B2 and the B3s fail.
മനോജല്ലേ ബൈ
Manojam.
And they gets to see Manoj's back, even though it's almost at the end of the innings. As the first wicket goes for the Star 11. Manoj goes for a well-made 30. That was a clinical performance, but it's not yet finished. Unless if they can find a Sam Curran in their side, it's very hard to find a way out of this. The Wayanad Warriors. Well, we've all been remembering the Delhi Capital versus Punjab game. The last over, the hat tricks, the collapses. Unless something like that happens, it's almost impossible for them to sail this. The Warriors.
ഇത് ബാറ്റ്സ്മാനാണ്
Shahjahan.
And Shahjahan replaces Manoj because of brilliant bowling by Ajmal. Trapped him in LBW. The umpires had no hesitation in giving him out.
കംപ്ലീറ്റ് അല്ലേ
Complete area.
കംപ്ലീറ്റ് അല്ലേ
So 13 required here for the Star 11. So if the Star 11 win the game, they will qualify to the final and will ensure a slot. They will be sitting there comfortably. Will face whoever win the next semi-final here. And the winner of the finals will get the trophy and the prize sponsored by Federal Bank, who is our core supporter of this tournament, of the 7th edition of this All Kerala Blind Cricket Tournament.
താങ്ക് യു
And those who are watching this and enjoying this live stream, don't forget to catch us live in the future as well. Hit the subscribe button and be a part of us. This is not the end. We have 2 more games, the semi-final second and the final. The second semi-final would be between the Rainbow Stars Kasaragod and that's the boundary. They're all but done. The Warriors now, and Manish is making sure that he does the death right with precision. 84 at the moment, 85. So the second semi-finals would be between the Kasaragod Rainbow Stars and the
ഡ്രാഗൺ അല്ലേ തൃശ്ശൂർ തൃശ്ശൂർ ഡ്രാഗൺ അല്ലേ
required 6 more runs to win.
തൃശ്ശൂർ ടീമിൻ്റെ പറയും എന്ത് ഡ്രാഗൺസ് ലൈവാ ലൈവാ അവിടെ എന്താ പറയാം
So the second game will be Trishu, Dragon Star Trishu and Kasaragod. Another boundary. They are going home in a jiffy. And Manish is saying that I had enough. It's time that I drink something. I am not in for such fun moment here. I'll finish it as soon as possible. One more boundary. For the Rainbow Stars Kasaragod, I'm not playing, as you can see in the commentary box. And that's the end of the over. That will be a contest, Trishu and Kasaragod. I'm really looking forward to it. Even though you're a commentator, you cannot resist the urge to find your own team play in the middle, can you? It's almost like Shiva Ramakrishnan commentating when Chennai Super Kings is playing. you always, well, at least most of the commentators do. Shiva Ramakrishnan will be on the edge of his seat whenever Chennai Super Kings is finding it tough. So, it's such kind of a moment. It's such a moment for me here, even though I will be neutral. And that boundary sealed the game for the Trivandrum Star 11. They have been consistently clinical in their performance with the ball, with the bat, and also in the field as well. They never let the Warriors get away with stuff, and that ensured that they will qualify into the finals. Beautiful performance by Manish, Manoj, and exceptionally by Muttappan and Shah Jahan, the B1 contingent, bowling excellently. And that means that they will sit on top of the table. They will be qualifying into the final and will play whoever wins the next game. So they will be having a cup of coffee and will be watching the next game unfold in front of them, trying to find tactics to tackle the next winner of the next game. And the Warriors, they have qualified into the semis, a new chapter in their history. Qualifying into an All Kerala semi-final is always worth cherishing, and they will be happy that they made it this far, but was not enough to make it to the finals, but always something new. They might have learned a thing or two from being in this kind of a pressure situation. Prasad, Ashif, the skipper, Ansar, the B1 player, Nitin, exceptional cricketers in their side too. I hope they will be performing brilliantly in the next edition of this tournament. They could keep their hopes alive by playing good cricket in the coming tournaments as well. And that concludes the game here. It's the Trivandrum Star 11 winning the game with 9 wickets and qualifying into the final. And I am Shivraj signing out of the commentary box. Thank you everyone for watching and for being with us. And as I said before, don't forget to be with us. Also, don't go anywhere. The next game will be up and live soon. And I'll be with you in the commentary box.